Welcome to Baker Dave Presents. We're here today at Morgan Hall at Temple University. It's a working kitchen. There might be some noises, there might be some people in the background. I have a special guest. I have Endri Baduni, who's the resident district manager for Temple Culinary Services, and he has brought with him his family's recipe for baklava, coming right up. Welcome, Endri.
Endri, good to be here. Endri Baduni.
Baduni.
Yes, sir. I'm the resident district manager for Temple Culinary Services.
The resident district manager for Temple Culinary Services. So you're new to the campus.
Relatively new, yes. Been here for about 5 months now.
5 months now, so that's not too bad.
I don't know if that's new or not.
Have you lived in Philly before?
No, actually, I moved to Philly in January from Washington, D.C., so I'm new to Philly.
Okay.
I like it so far. Very nice.
Well, I've met you, I know you a little bit now for the last couple of months, and I know you're a huge fan, so I went ahead and brought my special hat today, because I know you're a huge Eagles fan, right?
No, that's not correct.
You're not an Eagles fan?
No, not an Eagles fan. I'm a fan of this other team. I don't know if you heard of them. It's called the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowgirls, right? I got you.
Yes. 5-time Super Bowl champions. So when your team gets there, we can talk.
So speaking of Super Bowl champion, you've been to Dallas, right? You visit there a lot, like that's your hometown? That's where you're from, right? Dallas? That's why you're a fan of the Cowboys?
Not exactly.
No, seems like they don't have any fans in their own state. It seems like all their... It sounded like a Dallas accent.
Accent, yes.
Very southern.
Yeah, so originally...
Have you been there? Have you even been there?
I've been to Dallas.
Have you? You just drove through? Flew over?
No, I've been there.
Did you go to a game?
I've been to a game.
In Dallas?
In Dallas.
Okay, well, you're like 10 steps ahead of everyone else I know that's a Dallas fan in Philadelphia, so I guess you can be one.
Originally not from Dallas. Originally from a small country in Eastern Europe called Albania.
Albania? How long has it been a country? That seems like one of those, like, they keep switching countries over there now. Has it been there for a while?
It's been a country for a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
As is the case with most European countries, they've been in existence for a long time, but it's a very beautiful country.
Yeah? You actually were born and raised there, right?
Yes, born and raised there. Came to this country when I was 18 as a student and decided to stay afterwards.
Loved America so much and the Dallas Cowboys that you figured you had to stay, right?
That's why I stayed, because of the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. So we're making baklava. Yeah. Because that's food of your people, I take it?
Yes, it is the food of my people. Actually, I've never made baklava myself, so this is exciting for me because it was always done from either my mother or my grandmother, but exciting to actually be part of making it.
Well, it's good. I can't wait to see you stretch the dough real thin. It'll be nice. I mean, that's a whole
specialty.
involved.
That's my specialty.
Why don't we turn this on and get the butter to start melting a little bit?
Is this dangerous? Should I step back?
Everything's dangerous in the kitchen. You should know that. How long you been in a kitchen?
Yeah,
how long you worked in?
I
was going to say, how long you worked in kitchens? You came to America and you were like, I really want to be a...
Yeah, I actually started working for the current company I'm working now on my 3rd day in the country. So
wow.
I've been in kitchens since then.
So you started when you were 18.
Yes.
And now you're what?
36.
Wow. So you've been with this company quite some time.
Yes.
You didn't actually have to tell me that. I was
you
paused for a second. You were like,
I didn't want to be rude. Even though you're an Eagles fan, I didn't want to be rude.
Well, I mean, at least I'm a fan of a city that I live in, not like a city that doesn't really exist. You know, it's way off in the distance. So I have like a pound of butter melting because I figured that we need a lot. I don't know have you seen it made at least?
Yes. Yes.
So it's a bit of a process.
Briefly, on my way out the door.
Ran through and grabbed the piece and then kept going?
My experience with baklava is mostly eating it. So
mostly eating it.
We love butter back home. We use butter on everything, so it's a good.
You love butter back home? Butter and everything, huh?
We use butter.
What's Albania like? Like what are we looking at there? Like you talking about when you were a kid, like do you have any favorite sports? I mean, you probably didn't watch a lot of football growing up, right?
No, I mean, I didn't know what American football,
your football is
in Europe,
we
have the real football, right? So we call it soccer, but grew up watching soccer, playing soccer. That was our national sport. So.
Were you any good? What position did you play?
Well, we always want to play forward in Albania, so no one wants to play defense. But
so you lose a lot because defense wins games, right?
It does. It does in soccer. But I actually played volleyball growing up, so that was my favorite sport.
In America, right? We play soccer when the little kids play soccer, and then when you grow up you move past that and start playing football. You know what I mean? Like
Yes, absolutely. And
maybe baseball or
actually,
something,
lately,
right?
it's changing this country as well. I mean, soccer is your fastest growing sport in here.
They always say it's the fastest growing sport. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's just gotta.
I did play soccer as a kid.
Gotta get better in the national level and sport.
Maybe they gotta pay people
catching
enough.
up. It's catching up.
Maybe they got to pay people enough, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how much are football players getting paid? Quite a bit, right?
Yeah, not all of them, but the stars do. They do.
The important people,
they
right?
get paid more than the football player stars in here. So.
They get paid more than Baker
Yeah.
Dave too.
Yeah. Although I don't know that. I don't know that. You know, it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
One day, I'm going to be so famous.
It smells so good.
So typically, and I don't really bother with this, and I hope I'm not like going to offend your family.
Yeah, don't do that. My mother will fly over here.
So will she? Then I intend to offend her. What can I call her? Can I call her names?
2 cents.
I want to get her over here as quick as possible.
I wouldn't suggest that.
Is she a tough lady?
No, she's a fair lady, but growing up, she had to be tough. So
Do you got any good stories there? You got?
yeah, I got plenty of stories.
Can't tell them now.
But
You don't want to tell them that?
you definitely don't want to tell her that her baklava is not the best in the world. That's for sure. So that's.
I wouldn't know. I didn't taste it.
Yeah,
as far as
growing up-
I'm concerned, it's not until she brings it over to me.
The challenge with baklava back home is that it's like the national dessert.
So everybody
takes
makes it.
pride, making
everybody
it,
thinks
and
theirs
it's
is the
like
best.
a multi-day affair. It's not like a day worth of work. So
And we're going to do it in 20 minutes.
And they let it dry, and then you gotta crack the nuts, right?
Crack.
They don't come open like that, right?
Oh, you got to,
So
you got to pick them on the tree? Like, what is this,
That's how they
1912? I don't
come
understand.
out. Well, that's how
Maybe
we
just when you
used
were
to
a
do it.
kid, maybe they actually can buy it
That
now.
was my memory.
When was the last time you were there?
Because sometimes I would help my father.
You had like a hammer, like one of those wooden hammers?
No, we had a.
You didn't have like the metal thing like people
It was with a metal thing. It was a hammer.
It was a real hammer.
Yeah, it was a real hammer.
Like
so
you
we would crack the
put the
nut. That
deck
was
together and
extent
then
of-
started hitting the nuts?
That was the extent of my help with the baklava making.
The manly part of
But
hitting the
it was
nuts?
a multi-day affair, and everybody would take so much pride to do. We do it for New Year's. That's our
It's
New
your
Year's dessert.
Oh,
So
see, I
in
did not
every-
know that.
In every Albanian table for New Year's, you
Does
would
that
have
mean, like,
baklava.
good
You
luck
cannot
for the-
not have it.
So does that like bring you luck for the year or something?
Yes, it
Well, see,
says
this
so.
is awesome
So-
because here you are, new to Temple. So it's like your new year almost. We're bringing you luck with our baklava, right?
Absolutely.
So everything's going to be great.
Absolutely. So
Okay, so I didn't actually decide to make filo. We cheated and bought it
I'm a
because.
bit disappointed, but that's okay. I'll let it slide.
So your mom's might be better just because I'm sure they make the dough, right? Whereas we are not doing that. So very simply, right? You're going to butter this. I need you to do some work. I don't need you. You're not going to be. You're going to be
please.
dirty
I'm
today.
here to work,
I hope
you
you're
know,
okay
I-
with that. So real simple. We're gonna butter this bottom because I don't want it to stick so much.
Okay.
I mean, I actually remember I worked in casinos, and this would probably your mother would cringe at this, but we used to make baklava at the casinos in Atlantic City when we needed to, and we didn't use butter. We actually used pan spray, and then put the layer down and.
That was the easy way to do it.
Yeah, but it's, you don't get the butter, right? So that's probably not a good thing. These layers are there's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you ever made a laminate dough? Like a croissant dough, or
Me personally, no.
have you ever made anything, Andrew?
There's not too many things I make when it comes to cooking. So.
Some Chef Boyardee,
And probably
maybe?
that's a good thing. You
Maybe
don't
some-
want me in the kitchen.
A can of soup or something, maybe?
I can
Boil
do
some
that.
water? Okay.
Yeah, I can boil an egg, that's for sure.
Boil an egg, right? Well, eggs are hard, so that's pretty impressive. If you could just brush that.
right,
You got to
so,
put butter
yeah,
between each
put-
thing. So typically, I think they actually use clarified butter, which we are not doing. Mostly just because I'm lazy. Because what you would
That's good to know.
only for this particular. We got 20 minutes. I mean, how much time? We don't have 3 days like you guys do. You know what I mean? So when you clarify the butter, you actually cook it down in the solids, kind of set to the bottom, and then you have just the fat rising to the top, which is a good thing. What's great about that is you can actually leave it out for days because now it's like an oil. It's not like, see, I'm talking instead of grabbing your layers. Sometimes I double up like that, and then I just have to pull back the piece that stuck.
There you go.
See, look at that. That's some skill right there.
You must.
See how thin that is? Like you can actually see through that. That's amazing. And to think people actually make this. Like these are probably made on machines, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
They make them by hand. They got
somebody out there is actually
rolling
making it.
pin.
They roll it with a
Yeah,
pin, they don't
yeah.
like I feel like it's a stretching thing. You ever seen strudel made like that?
Yeah.
Like
No,
they'll
that-
take one large piece and they'll stretch it out over like
Yeah,
a
no,
huge table, and then they'll put the stuff in it, and as they roll it up, it just creates the layers, right? It's the same
Yeah,
type
in
of thing.
Albania and nowadays, you know, a lot of people might find the just going to the store and buying, but you know, back when I grew up, it was just by hand. So
I just wouldn't think you get it thin enough with that. But I guess
You would.
I guess you would know, right?
that's
Or
a lot
not.
of practice. I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't actually know. I feel like, you know, it's only about a 30-minute show, and, you know, you're going very slow, no offense.
Yeah, man, it's not my expertise. So.
What is your expertise? Tell me about all your expertise.
Oh, where do I start?
There's so many expertise that you have. Soccer, apparently, right?
Yeah, I like sports. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on them, but you know, I just like to watch. I'm an expert at watching sports. How about that?
Yeah, drinking beers and watching sports. That's perfect. So how come you didn't invite me over to see the soccer game, man?
We should get some. What is it? Philadelphia Union in here? Is this?
There is a Philadelphia
Yeah,
Union.
I don't know how they're doing, but I guess we should support them. They're a local team, right?
I figured you probably like the Dallas, I don't even know what team they had. Do they even play soccer in Dallas? I'm not even sure.
Just the Cowboys. That's
Oh, that's it. Why is that? How come people don't want to go for the whole spread? They don't want to be like an Houston Astros fan or something,
I
no?
don't think you have to be. You know, just because you're from a certain city doesn't mean you have to be a fan on everything in that city, right?
You're not from that? You're not from the city? What do you mean from the city? Go grab that rolling pin over there. I'm going to show you a trick, right?
All right.
Because I don't like chopping up nuts. They take forever, right?
Yep.
I don't know if your mother did this or not, but I take my nuts and I roll them. So why don't you do that?
There you go.
Just roll over them, and then they just crush. Like actually,
let's probably put this somewhere else.
oh, you don't want to knock it over?
There you
I
go.
can just hold it. Oh look, they just rolled in front of you.
Yeah,
You'll have to
yeah.
actually pick it up and kind of hit it in the center and
Alright,
roll
so
it.
like
There you go.
All right. I don't think this is the most perfect tool, Dave.
Okay, so you and
I'm trying it.
you and I have a different technique on this,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, no, because I've never had
We
it
should
slide
have
quite so
started with
much.
the right technique and then moved on to the
I thought it would be cool if I could see, you just kind of roll over it, and so then they just crush themselves up, right? You don't have to actually go in with the knife, and
There you go.
then I don't have to wear a cut glove, right?
No.
Because if you wear
Absolutely.
if you're using a knife,
There's no sharp edges.
there's no
Of course.
sharp. It's all rounded edges, right? So that's perfect.
Safety first. Always safety first.
Safety is the most important thing. We want to go home with as many fingers as we came here with, right? So, really simple. I do this with most of the nuts, actually. There's a couple nuts that are hard to do it with. Hazelnuts, filberts, they roll away pretty easily. I'm not going to lie, they're pretty round. But these are a good nut for it. Grab that bowl. We're going to slide some of this in there. I'm not even sure we need all this. And then we're going to add some sugar,
All right.
some cinnamon, some cloves, maybe a little salt just because, why not? Mix it up.
Making a dessert with salt.
You should put salt in everything. Are you kidding me? Everything gets salt. Salt is one of those
Is it good enough, or should I
flavors.
use my hand and just
Use your hands. What are you afraid to touch it? I don't understand.
There we go.
There we go. See, now you can,
Much better.
maybe you can handle layering this. Like throw some of that in the layer. I usually go about 10 sheets.
Okay.
I go about 10 sheets,
I
which
can
we
do
did.
that.
And then you spread that out. There you go.
Yeah.
Be generous,
so
man.
good.
Be generous. I don't know what you're...
I know.
Fill it in, man.
Trying to save on full cost, I guess.
Not today. Not today. There's
Not today.
no food cost today, okay?
Okay.
I know you've been working in this industry for so long. That's all it is. Save some for the next layer,
yeah,
okay?
I will. I'm just trying to mix it up.
I like to put a little butter on top just so the next layer kind of has something to grip onto, you know what I mean? Some of this will kind of get a little gooey then. I could be completely wrong with this. This might be my American way of doing things, who knows? Not my Albanian way of doing things. I still can't picture where Albania is, I'm not going to lie. I'm
That's
terrible
a very good
with,
question. So,
with geography. I'm horrible
so as I
with
said,
it.
Albania is in the eastern.
I could assume it's
Eastern
near
Europe.
Greece,
So,
maybe?
yeah, we border Greece in the south.
Okay.
So, and then the Italy boots. Italy boot is right on the other side of the Adriatic.
Okay.
So it's like about a 45
Do you have any beaches?
boat ride to Italy. Yeah, we got, we share the same coastline as Greece. So just.
But you never see that in movies. You always see like these beautiful Greece coastlines.
Yeah,
and
of
stuff. You never
course.
see
Yeah,
the beautiful Albanian
it's
coastline.
not as advertised as Greece, but I would say it's just as beautiful or even more beautiful than Greece.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
When was the last time you got back?
Actually, I was there last summer. I try to go every summer, you know, with my wife and my daughter, because, you know, my daughter goes to see the grandparents, and we like to spend some time
nice.
with them.
How old's your daughter?
4 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So you got a little one at home. That's a lot of work at 4, right?
Yeah. She's.
So let me ask you to see if you and I are on the same page with this. You can go ahead and spread the next layer. I usually go 10, 5, 5. That's my method. I'm not sure if that's your mother's method or not, but everybody always jokes about the terrible 2s. Did you find that to be an issue with your daughter? For me, it was not. It was 3. I don't know where 2 came from. Because
Yeah,
3 is horrible.
Yeah, I agree with that. Two's not so bad.
2 wasn't bad at all.
I don't think. All right, well,
Get as much flavor as possible, right?
That looks very good.
Lots of flavor. Oh, we got to go back with this.
Yep, hit it with some butter.
I believe the reason to use clarified butter is if it's the higher fat, like 'cause it's just fat at that point. I think that it comes out a little crispier, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm also not Albanian.
You don't have to be.
And by the time you get up to Hungary, where I'm from, they don't eat this anymore. Because I'm trying to. It seems like a lot of countries that's like their thing, right? You should have like a Baklava championship or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, a lot of countries in Eastern Europe, including Greece, they claim baklava to be their national dessert.
That's
and
what I'm
it's not.
saying. Oh, it's not?
So baklava is a
so what's-
Turkish dessert.
what's
so
the
when
Greece-
the Ottoman Empire occupied most of Europe,
Look at you, Mr.
You know,
History Man.
they
That's
brought-
usually me doing this. This is awesome.
they brought baklava, you know, to these countries, and you know that's where it stayed. But over the time, everyone claims that it's Greek, it's Albanian, it's Romanian, but it's truly it's a Turkish dessert. So
I've seen it with.
we borrowed it from.
You borrowed it. I bet you were probably forced to have it. You know, they took over your country. They were probably like,
Yeah, not when it came to
eat
food.
baklava!
Yeah, no.
With a
that's-
sword to your throat or
this-
something, you know?
I'm glad we kept baklava. from them. This is a good thing.
This is
to have.
okay?
Yeah, this is okay.
It's okay
Other
that
things
they.
not so much, but
But
the
this is
food-
good.
The food was great.
So see, we got our layers.
Yep, absolutely, it looks great.
It looks great, right?
God will be here. Just say I did something.
This is going to haunt you forever. You're doing something. So I like to trim it a little bit. It's probably not necessary because I think it shrinks up quite a bit, and I'm probably doing the completely wrong thing. Well, I guess we'll see when it comes out of the oven.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because again, I don't make baklava very often. I have made it before. Clearly, like if you go to a Greek diner, they always have it. If you go
Yep.
to,
But even in Albania, we make it usually once a year. It's like a once a year because
That's it. It's too
so
much
work involved into making it. So
we definitely, like growing up, we had desserts like that. There were only, and usually it's saved for like Christmas time, more so. This is just me, but I like to score it before it goes in the oven so
Yeah.
that way you can easily cut it and, you know what I mean, you know where to go. So it just pulls. You got to be careful when you score though, because you don't want to press down too hard. You just want to kind of run the knife over it. And you're not actually cutting through all the layers. You're just kind of cutting a little bit. You'll see it'll pop up. Right? And then we're going to put that in the oven. And it, I don't know, 350-ish? I feel like I bake everything.
Let's go with
ish.
350. That's a good safe number to bake anything.
I bake everything about the same temperature, which is probably completely wrong. And just bake it as long as it needs to bake until it's cooked. So it'll fluff up a little bit because the butter will actually create steam. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier about the laminate doughs. It's like with the laminate dough, you would take and you put the butter and you'd fold all the layers, roll it out, fold all the layers, roll it out, fold all the layers. And you're creating a butter layer between each thing so that when it bakes, it's fluffy, kind of like a puff pastry or a croissant or
That
a
sounds
Danish.
good.
Right? With this, it's like they were like, nah, we don't want to go the easy route. We're gonna butter each layer ourselves. Like that just seems like a lot of work, doesn't it?
It's
It does create
product of love.
It does create a completely
That's why people take so much pride making it.
completely different
not an easy
product.
dessert.
No, it's. I can tell you, it's not an easy dessert for sure. I just needed a pan right now. We need to make the syrup now, right? Because that's the key. That's the key, right? I mean, it's not just that it's this flaky pastry, but that you soak the flaky pastry so when you eat it,
my
it just kind of
favorite
runs
part.
down your face, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, you need the.
So when I make it, like I said, we use honey. So go ahead and we got like 2 cups of honey.
2 cups of honey.
Yeah.
All right, you need both of them?
Yeah,
Alright.
we need it all, man.
Why would you have it here if you didn't need it, right?
Well, I mean, some of it is salt and stuff, you know, I just took a little pinch, you know what I mean?
All right, so we got the first one.
2 cups of honey, a cup of sugar. I tried to make it real simple. 2 cups of honey, a cup of sugar, and 2 cups of water is your base. And you're basically making a honey simple syrup, right?
All right.
Because that's what you're looking for. And then maybe...
Sugar?
Yeah, cup of sugar.
All right, got the sugar.
And then I put a little cinnamon. If you have a cinnamon stick, that's super awesome. Just throw the cinnamon stick in there. But I didn't today, so now I'm just using cinnamon. The only problem with using cinnamon is that it actually will color it then. The cinnamon stick will flavor it and you won't really see it, you know what I mean? That's so humid in here, stuff starts sticking. A little bit of cloves, like I said, and then the water. You got 2 cups of water over there too, if you can dump that in. And then we just turn it on and start it cooking, right?
No salt this time?
Oh yeah, throw some salt in, what the heck?
There you go, man.
You know what I mean?
Fun.
A little bit of salt. And lemons. Lemon's a big thing. So I just quarter a lemon and drop that in too. And the flavor will come from it as it cooks. And you're going to want to create like a simple syrup where it's going to kind of coat the back of the spoon. You'll see a lot of the water will start boiling out in a second. So you got brothers and sisters? You were only child? Totally spoiled? What's going on in Albania?
Like
I'm just trying to picture the little balding guy with the beard, like 4-year-old running around, you know what I mean?
I have a younger sister. She's 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, she still live there, or she come here
she's
too?
in Italy actually right now.
Italy?
Yeah, she got married, went to Italy, and I'm also an uncle. So
Look at you.
there you go.
Uncle Endri.
Yeah, Uncle Endri. But
That's it, a sister? One sister?
She had to put up with me all her life. So,
I feel for her.
but yeah, man, I'm just trying to smell the lemon a little bit.
Do you smell the lemon? Oh, that's good. Lemons tend to smell good. That's why we make our cleaning products like that.
It's a good smell.
I never understood why, this is my stupid American. Did you ever notice Americans pretty much just stay in America?
No, I think
I don't feel like they travel quite as much. Like, you always talk to people that ventured out of their country and went to another country, and I'm always a little bit jealous, a little bit like of your adventurism, you know what I mean? The fact that you were like, you know what, I'm 18, I'm going across the water to a completely different land with different rules and different people and that don't really speak my language and eat different foods.
It's not easy for sure, but I would say, when I was in Albania, there was a lot of tourists that were coming to Albania, and a lot of them were
but they don't stay, right? They just tour. That's what I'm saying.
Tours for a couple of weeks. So, especially when you come to the urban centers here in the United States, you see a lot of people who are world traveled. So it's
but they don't. That's what I'm saying. Like you left your home and moved somewhere else. You didn't just go like, hey, I'm taking a tour of America. You
absolutely.
Like we'll take a tour of Europe. We'll backpack through Europe. We'll do all sorts of crazy stuff. But we always go back to America. You know what I mean? Like.
Which is a great country to live in.
Look, I'm not saying it's not a great country to live in. Clearly, I'm living here, and I have a lot of opportunities.
It was a challenge. It's not easy. But when you live in countries like Albania that have challenges economically and socially, and
it's hard to get a date.
Is a great opportunity. So
it was a social challenge. It was hard to get dates over there.
Yeah, one of them.
That's what really happened, right? You came over here and met your wife?
We actually, that is the truth. That is the truth.
And then you stayed. You're like, okay, so now it makes a lot more sense.
I like it here. So
well, of course, because that's where your family is now, right?
It's a great country. And I tell you what, Temple University, it's been a great experience for me here. So I'm really going to like it here. So.
Look, I've been here almost 15 years now, and I didn't realize it when I came here. I'm not going to say I immediately noticed it. But in 15 years, like this has been one of the best communities I've found. Like I've gone and helped out at other universities and stuff, and the people here are so much nicer. They're polite. They care. They're not snobs. Like you go to some universities and they're like because they paid more money and they think they're special and they have servants that help them or something. I don't know. Temple's not like Temple's very everyday. You know what I mean?
We've had, and I personally have had overwhelming support in here. So I'm excited to be part of this community. It's a great community to work.
Have you had a chance to eat food in the city here? 'Cause Philadelphia is a great food town.
Absolutely. And I would say so underrated, but the food here, the food scene, the restaurants, just amazing.
Like
I make it a point to
you have to. You have to. I feel like it's
as many restaurants as
people go to Memphis
possible,
or whatever. They know they're getting barbecue. People go to the only thing to think about is for Philadelphia is cheesesteaks, and I don't think that defines the food scene here quite as well as
Yeah, I heard about your cheesesteaks.
my
They're pretty
cheesesteaks.
good. They're pretty good. No, here in the
Oh, I was like, I don't even make
Philadelphia.
cheesesteak. I make a
Yeah,
dessert cheesesteak. It's pretty
that's,
nice. But,
what I like about the restaurant
so
scene
wait,
here,
have you
like,
not had a cheesesteak? Hold up.
you know, here in Philadelphia?
Yeah, like.
Of course.
Oh, okay. You were like, I heard about your
I had more than
cheesesteaks.
one, believe me.
Okay, I just want to make sure you actually
I
you had to
more
have
than
had
and
one at
it's
least.
Boiling.
Yeah, you got to turn it down then because it gets out of control.
Yeah. No, it's I've had a cheesesteak. It's great. I mean, it's.
You
and
feel
it's
like
also
you're
very
done. You
accessible.
can, it's you know, you eat a cheesesteak and it's like that's it for the day, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's like
just-
2 meals in one for me usually.
When you talk to the people in Philadelphia, they can really tell you where to go for a cheesesteak. So they'll tell you like, stay away from those tourist traps. You know, don't go to what everybody thinks they have a good cheesesteak. So.
You have a, so what?
Um,
You have a special cheesesteak place?
No, I mean, I'm not much of a cheesesteak guy, but I've been in a couple of places that I've been impressed with the food, with a cheesesteak. It's looking better.
It's looking
Better
good,
by
right?
the minute, yeah, of course.
I lost my flame. I was like, why is it going down? That's because the flame just went off. Sometimes that happens. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Look, I'm not a cook. I'm a baker.
equipment issues.
You know what I mean? I'm a baker.
Yeah. Well, I can't help you with that either.
Did it again. All right, there we go. See, look
There
at
we
that. I think I have it about right.
All right, it's coming
So
along.
it gets, you see it boils all the way up. I don't know if you can see this. It boils all the way up, and
Want me
then
to show you this way? No.
you could, but you'll just dump it on the table. So at that point, hopefully they can just see it. But we're boiling out a lot of the water right now, so we can get it a little bit thicker. It's going to start actually coating the back of the spoon, so to speak.
Yeah, I can see it. It's getting a little thicker.
It's getting a little bit. The lemon's all cooking in there. It's good stuff. Any other foods? Like, I can't think of an Albanian, like, I barely know where Albania is, I'm not going to lie, so I couldn't think of another food. Like, what's another, like, on New Year's, you literally just eat this, or you have a full meal? I'm thinking you got other food that you eat with it, right?
You
I
are
mean,
correct. We do. we don't start and end with dessert, but
I wasn't
no,
sure.
Now we're, our cuisine is, like similar to Mediterranean cuisine, so what you'd find in Greece, for example. We like lamb. That's like
Big fan of lamb, huh?
big fan of lamb.
What do you think?
Eggplant is like our,
Eggplant.
I
wouldn't have thought eggplant was a thing.
Stuffed eggplants. You should
Really?
try- yeah, you should
What do you
try-
stuff it
should
with?
try
Why didn't we make that today?
Stuffed eggplant it's ridiculous. Is this the last time I'm going to be in the show? Are you not inviting me ever again?
I can't say. I mean,
Alright,
it
then,
depends on how good the show does and if anyone
Alright,
watches
well,
this
yeah,
thing.
that's-
You know what I mean?
Whenever you want to make stuffed eggplants, just let me know. I'll be back.
I guess
No-
we'll
no
have to wait
problem.
and see. I think the stuff's almost ready, so look at that. That's perfect. You'll see what I'm.
See it.
You see what I'm talking about, though. It kind of shrinks in a little bit. I probably shouldn't have trimmed the edges quite so much, but
It did shrink.
it happens. It's shrinkage. That happens.
It looks great.
We got our sauce looking beautiful over here. See, it's a little bit thicker, which is what you want. And this is really, you don't eat this the same day, like you said. It's 3
No,
days.
yeah, yep,
We're going to make the
absolutely.
mistake, and this is probably sacrilege right now. We're going to eat this the same day we made it,
That's-
which is ridiculous, right? Because you want this to really
Yep,
soak in.
Absolutely.
So it's probably going to be a bit of a mess. And you literally just fill in all the spaces. I think the cutting helps with that too, because it helps.
Yeah, but it goes all the way
It
down.
allows you a
Yep.
spot to go in, right? I just did that because I thought that'd be cool for the camera. I'm probably just making a mess. And I mean, don't be afraid of it. It will set itself back up. Like the sugar, once it cools, I can smell the honey. Have you ever made it with any other kind of honey? You've never made it, so I'm a stupid question, but there's like a million types of honey. I'm just thinking
Yeah,
to
no,
myself,
it-
I'm like brainstorming now. Like if you used a wild honey, it would have a totally different flavor, wouldn't it?
Probably. I think we just made it with a regular honey.
Like clover honey. Although honestly, if you get local honey there, it's probably completely
Yep,
different than
absolutely.
local honey here, right?
Absolutely. It tastes great.
Tastes like honey.
Every time we go back there, we bring some with us.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
So you're gonna bring me some next time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I love honey, especially from all over. There's this honey I had from Africa one time. It has a very black pepper type taste to it, and it's all based on the trees that the animals get the stuff from, the bees or whatever get the nectar or whatever they get. I don't know how honey. I feel like an idiot. I should totally know how honey's made, right?
That's how it's made.
Something flies around and collects stuff, and the next thing you got honey.
Yeah, it's a
and-
very simple
and then-
process.
right,
Yeah.
the bees put it in the jar and they seal it up. You know what I mean? Like it's
and
perfect.
it shows up in the supermarket just like that.
I think they fly it there. That's
Yeah,
part of the transportation.
absolutely.
That's why we're concerned about the
Nowadays,
bees. Like if we lose the bees, we're not going to be able to get delivery service for the honey.
I think they use drones nowadays. You know, they're just tired of doing that stuff with their own.
I thought that was a type of bee. Wasn't it a drone? Isn't that one of the bees? You got the worker bees and the drone bees or something? Or you're saying it was mechanical? I don't know. That's a problem for someone else, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, you ready to try some of this or what?
I'm ready. Been ready.
All right. See, it's so crispy now, which is not the case usually. It's a little soggier.
It's soft, it's soggy.
Kind of hear the crispiness. We're doing this completely wrong, but I'm sure it's still so right, right? If I can get one from more of the center where there might be some more.
I want this one.
Oh, you want
just the
this was
brown
the
on top.
perfect one?
Yep, that's what I think.
Can you get it?
Of course.
I'll try to get this one.
Syrup is still hot.
Look at that.
This
It's
is
got the,
nice.
the layers of the nuts and it's beautiful, right?
You know,
And you're dripping everywhere. That's awesome. Now you know it's good.
that's how you eat baklava, right?
Right.
Well, cheers, my
Cheers.
friend.
I'm such a pig. I shoved the whole thing
This
in.
is a good piece of baklava. I'm probably gonna eat the rest of the pan tomorrow
Once it sits.
once it's sits.
I'll save it for you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming by.
Oh, thanks for inviting
And
me.
you definitely are.
Absolute pleasure to be here with you.
You are
I
absolutely.
hope I get invited again.
I was just gonna say you got to come back and make the eggplant thing now.
Absolutely. Just let me know when. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, man. Thank you for joining us on Baker Dave Presents. And a special thanks to Endri Baduni, even though he is a Dallas Cowboys fan, for bringing his delicious baklava recipe. Join us again next time on Baker Dave Presents. And remember, every recipe has a story.